Who are you?
I'm Lowell Goss. I'm the CEO of a company called Loud3r.
And it's spelled weird.
Loud3r.
What's up with the threes?
All about domain space. We found that that's a great way for us to find a big number of domains all about passion topics. So we've got about 520 different ones, and it's a way of creating really a brand umbrella for us.
And so all your domains have a 3 in them somewhere.
They all end with 3R. So louder, faster, harder, stronger, all those kinds of superlatives.
It's like a Daft Punk song.
It's just like a Daft Punk song.
Louder.
We're going to get Kanye to do a cover. It's going to be really great.
So tell me about what you're doing.
So we're bringing together lots of different content from hundreds or thousands of sources for each one of these passion topics and passion areas. So things like wine, things like sneakers, things like startup companies. And we're aggregating that content together. We are filtering through it, ranking it, so it allows you to follow hundreds of sites without having to be Robert Scoble and really, look at all of those thousands of items, staying up all night all the time, and get the top best stuff. Yeah. Filtering out the junk, the splogs, and really allowing you to see a World Wide Web view of whatever topic you care about by having somebody algorithmically looking for this stuff on your behalf all the time. And there are personalization aspects to it, as well as just a view of motorcycle racing or whatever that topic is.
Now I bet in your interviews, everybody will ask you about their favorite aggregation site. Mine is TechName, right?
Right.
How does it compare to TechName? And then a wine guy will ask you, how does it compare to this wine thing or whatever?
I think a big deal is technology. We've really taken a technology approach, much more so than a human approach. Even though we are, like many, a human-machine hybrid, the technology really is at the core of what it is that we are doing. Everything that you see on the site today has been selected, aggregated, published by the technology. So for us, both in terms of a user service perspective and from a business perspective, it allows us to get into a bunch of different niches that economically something like TechName can't really do. Gabe does a great job, but Gabe spends a lot of time tending and feeding that all the time. So scaling up to 25 sites like we have or 500 sites like we have plans to do is something that it's going to be really difficult if your model is all about the human tending and human curation. We think that that's really important. We use that as a way of putting intelligence into the system from the beginning and then letting the system run in an automated fashion from then on.
Now, owning niches like this, an aggregation is real valuable, I would imagine, after you get lots of traffic and lots of people. Are you trying to use are you trying to build something on top of the aggregation, like a social network or a video site or a store? Certainly that makes sense with your wine example, right?
What we see is that the aggregation is a starting point. It's a way of people showing up on day one and having a really great experience about the best content that they can find. We already have a bunch of social pieces built into that. So for instance, if you are a person who is signed up for the site, you go to the site, you read, we auto-save those stories into your profile. If you allow someone to follow you on your profile, all you have to do is read in order to create a stream of activity that you can share with your friends. So you can then publish to your blog simply through the act of reading. You can edit that stream as an RSS feed and share that, again, with your friends, your colleagues. It's a way of creating that and having the technology, again, being advocate for you in the background, tracking the topics that you care about so we can create a personalized page, tracking the stories that you read so you can share those automatically with your friends without it being a clicking of a share button or a bunch of manual activity of thinking, do I really care about this enough to do this? It's simply something that happens. And you then have privacy controls so you can turn that off. But it's something that happens. We're letting the technology work for you.
That's really cool. Yeah. So I'm excited to get a look at it really briefly. How are you guys funded and how are you going to make money?
Well, we are friends, family, and angels to date. Okay. We're super frugal, and we've got a bunch of really smart people who have really poured their hearts and souls into doing it. Which I'm sure is a story you hear all the time. We're currently in talks with a number of VCs on a Series A, so we're looking to accelerate not only the number of the sites, but also, like you've said, the features and the activity here very aggressively over the next few months.
Very cool. And what is it about LA, Los Angeles, why are you happening here and not in, New York or Silicon Valley or Israel or China or something?
I lived and worked in a bunch of different places, New York, Austin, San Francisco, LA. This is where I was most recently because I was at the Yahoo Media Group. Yeah. And I think LA is a great tech hotbed. We've got Caltech, we've got companies like Idea Lab. We've got Overture, so there's a great sort of tech base of talent here in Los Angeles. But I also think it's a different approach about merging business and media along with technology to really create businesses. If you look at the number of great businesses and business ideas that have come out of LA, there's a lot of really big winners here. And I think the focus really is on creating a business rather than just the piece of technology that might be behind it.
Very cool. Well, thanks a lot. And we're going to get a little demo here before my hard drive dies. So, oh yeah, we have a few minutes left. So let me move the camera over here. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
If you could tilt the computer toward me a little bit.
Yeah.
And tilt the screen forward. There, perfect.
Super.
Let me just focus. Focus. And yeah, just move deliberately and slowly so I can follow you.
Okay.
That would be helpful. Cool, we're ready.
Super.
So give me an idea of what you guys do and what it looks like on screen.
Okay. So here we're looking at one of the many Loud3r sites. This one is called Faster. It is all about motorcycling, motorcycle racing, riding, and it comes from about 450 different sources from across the web. Those sources have been hand-selected by our editors. We give them an initial reputation score, and then we also merge that with what we call a semantic glossary. So all the ins, outs, bits and pieces of rule sets, words, keywords that you need to describe this particular topic. What we're looking at here is our homepage, and I'm signed in. And you can see this is what we call our most interesting view. So for this snapshot in time, this is what we have decided, or what the software has decided, are the most interesting stories on the internet right now about motorcycling. 20 minutes from now, this will be a different list, but this is really an editorial simulation. We have built in probably about 20 different factors about how we select what is most interesting.
Now, does this come from all over the web, all the blogs, all the Twitters? Tell me some of the information sources that you crawl and aggregate together.
Sure. Blogs is definitely a big thing. News sites is a big thing. Forums. We're working to integrate friend feed, Twitter, RSS meme, anything where we can get a hint from people's activity, whether they be authors or users, about what's cool and what's interesting. And in some ways, what you can see is that not just we're aggregating information and then processing it through our sort of natural language software, but we're also aggregating intent. We're aggregating what other people think is cool on a massive scale and bringing that together and publishing it to you, so you can go and with a very small amount of work, show up and go, oh cool, there's a supercharged Yamaha R1, I want to click through on that. And it's a great service to publishers as well, because when you click through on that, you go to the publisher site, and it's a great way for them to be discovered, really based on the quality of what they're doing, more so than their page rank or some other kind of factor.
Yeah. Can you give me some other examples of sites that you're that I would see? Because you have like 30 sites. Just give me a couple.
I can buzz through.
I heard you're doing one for me, right?
Yep. There's a Scobalizer one.
Well, let me see how bad that is.
Well, it's really interesting. You were talking about it earlier today, and part of what we do is detect what people are talking about and what is hot in a particular area right now. And I can tell you, Los Angeles was not on this list up until today. But the 9th most popular hot topic from Scobalizer.com is Los Angeles.
I haven't even blogged about it yet. That's just based on my Twitter behavior.
You're just twittering about it, and other people are talking about the fact that you're twittering about it. So it all rises up to the top, and now we can look at all things Los Angeles that are involved with you. So there's one about Andrew, who's over here. There's one talking about the interviews themselves. One talking about you headed down here, and it's a way for us to, again, look at the text, look at the content itself, and understand what's cool and hot about it in a way that's useful to people, I think, and really brings it together for them.
That's really cool.
Really zero work.
What are some other examples, some sites that you like to watch?
My personal passions are largely about things with motors, but just buzzing through a few things. We've gotten a lot of really great feedback about Glacier, which is our environmental site. Again, bringing together a topic that's got lots of coverage, but is largely fractured in a lot of different places across the web, all into one place. So we can see that today there's a big deal about the Danish climate goal for 2009. Moving on, for those in the tech industry, apparently the iPhone 3G has been unlocked just 3 days after it's released, and that there's a video store and rentals tonight on PS3. That's our gadget site. Looking at fashion today, something about Project Runway is a big deal today. Lauren Conrad's apparently in the doghouse. I don't know who she is, but I show up here and all of a sudden I'm diving into what's cool about women's fashion immediately. No setup, no work on my part. I show up and I know that Lauren Conrad's a big deal.
Very cool. This is really great stuff. So
Thank
thanks
you.
for giving me a little preview, and
Thanks a
thanks
lot for having us.
inviting me out to Los Angeles to see.
Great.